All right. Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters, and your master of martial arts. Today, we are going to be talking about the first half, more or less, of the incredible classic 1993 Iron Monkey, um, which I have not watched for about 15 years, and I did not remember it being, I knew it was good. We'll talk about it. But before we do too much more talking, please like, share, subscribe. Speaking of subscribers, we have now hit over 1,050 subscribers, and I can't thank you all enough for coming along. It's officially 1,054 subscribers. So thank you very much for everyone who's been with me on this journey for the last this is our fourth season. I've had the channel since early on, but I didn't ever do too much with it aside from surprisingly post cat videos. But thank you all. And if you could leave a comment, tell me what you like about this movie or if you didn't like it. Either way, it's I really liked it. I mean, it's highly recommended, even with the slight alterations that the US cut does have. But and if you could just watch a little longer than usual, I'd also appreciate that. Helps the algorithm. Are you ready? Let's roll. So we start here because, yep, I'm going to hashtag old Quentin Tarantino. This movie is, just remember, it's just just my thought, better than anything I've ever seen him make, which has been all of two movies and parts of several other ones. I just don't care for it. I don't see the the big deal about him. I do think he'd be fun to talk to about movies because I think he's a big fan of the same things I like. But I don't want to watch his movies. I wouldn't tell him that. Though Quentin, if you see that, I'll buy you a beer and we'll talk. So you can convince me. How's that sound? All right. So this is was released by Miramax here in the states. It was Golden Harvest that released it in on September 3rd, 1993, right before my sainted mother's birthday. DVD hung blah blah blah. It was released to the theater in 2001 to capitalize on um, uh, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which this is a better movie than that too. Although I should watch that again. It's been that long since I've seen over 20 years since I've seen that movie. So we start out here with in 1858, ravaged by warlords and terrible flooding. You get all this, and a hero arose in every age, in every time. A hero is born as if by some grand design. Oh, yes, I'll quote The Elder. Don't you think I won't? That's The Elder by Kiss. Music from The Elder by Kiss. Anyway, there is the characters for the Iron Monkey. And there is a 1977 movie called The Iron Monkey, which stars Chen Quan Tai, who was also a practitioner of monkey style kung fu. This has precious little monkey style kung fu in it. There's a bit of a nod to a Hungar, but not much. So, obviously, Yen Wu Ping directed it. Yen Wu Ping, and here we have the Iron Monkey himself. I think that it's the Monkey King, supposedly, but there he is. And the greedy governor is here, and that is Chief Fox, who is a secondary character, but while a bit corrupt, he's still a good man, as we'll find out. Dumplings, yum. And there's our governor, or actually, is that the governor? They're trying to capture the Iron Monkey, who is the 1858 Chinese equivalent of Robin Hood. He robs from the rich and gives to the poor, and he outsmarts them at every turn. He's also very much like Batman. I like this pose. And the Iron Monkey himself is played by Yu Rongong, or Kwong, depending on how you say it. He was in, have I seen any of these? Holy Robe of the Shaolin Temple, East is Red. I didn't care for that very much. My Father is a Hero, The Storm Riders, didn't care for that much. Shanghai Noon, I did like that, I believe. He's been in a lot of stuff, but this so far, this is my favorite movie of his. All right, lots of wire work here, which is to be expected from the Yen Clan, but it works because there's also some really good hand fighting. It augments it, and he's kind of a superhero. So he's fighting some renegade Shaolin monks, which is a big thing right there, and he just beats the crap out of him. There's the governor, he's surrounded by women, and he's help. I think that's a play on words. He thinks he's trapped him, but unfortunately, the Iron Monkey's just too smart. There's his jewels, and he's upset because um, Chief Fox has a bit of the uh, shark fin soup, which is a running gag for some reason. Uh, and then the Iron Monkey shows up disguised and steals it. And then he throws that down, and they raise the reward. All sorts of stuff, which never works because the people love him and they're not going to turn him in. So these guys run a brothel, and now we meet Doctor Yang, really, who runs a clinic. I just let that in there, and he's ambidextrous and can write two different things at the same time, which is astounding. I don't know that Batman can do that, but he always gives free stuff to the poor, and he charges a lot to the rich, and he plays to their ego. Says, "Well, if you can't afford it, oh, I can afford it. Pay him." And he's friends with these two, and that is Miss Orchid, who is played by Jean Wang or Jean Wong probably, and she's awesome. This movie has great actors in it, and it's very human, despite all of the action, and there is a lot of action in it. But it also doesn't forget its heart, which again just helps out. The Iron Monkey was arrested. No, Chief Fox is a bit of a braggart, but he does have a good heart. Flying Dragon Punch, and now these guys come in and accost Miss Orchid, and Chief Fox says, "Nope, not going to happen here," and he makes him apologize. And because the Iron Monkey beat up his men, he gives them this ointment. And then we see how talented they are as the papers fly and they all catch it. And now we're going into the Iron Monkey is handing out gifts, and one guy says, "I'm taking all your money," and he throws him and hits him in the head with a rock. There's a lot of head bonking here, and everyone thanks him, and they're just really exists. And these two, she is very much in love with him, as we'll find out why, and he is not going to admit it, or at least yet. They get a notice the royal minister is going to show up, capture that monkey. So they arrest everyone that looks like a monkey. This guy practicing monkey style kung fu. And once again, I don't care for monkeys at all, really. I mean, Chim Chim is all right, and Nakima, of course, but he's got a tail, so But overall, monkeys. I like Kong, but he's a great ape. He's an ape god. He's not even a true ape. So they're arresting all of them. And who do we have here? It's Wong Ki Ying and his son Wong Fei Hung. Now that is Donnie Yen, who of course is amazing, and that is also wait, Angela Chang as Wong Fei Hung. Angela Chang was a wushu winner. I don't know how old she was when she made this. She's 40. She's born in 78, so roughly 14 or 15. She's amazing. But she was, Hong Kong. She's a Hong Kong police officer now, former wushu athlete and child actress. She won a silver medalist. She was a silver medalist in the Asian Games for wushu in 2006. So she's astounding. I mean, and she's a good actress. And why she didn't make more movies, we'll never know. But she was playing a boy, so I guess she's cross-dressing. But who cares? And she sees some kids being bullied, or Fei Hung sees some kids, and the fight starts. And so Fei Hung or Qi Ying just threatens the kids, "Don't steal anymore." And then the brothers show up, and he just takes them out, which grabs the attention of the guards. If you want to watch this, buy the DVD, buy the Blu-ray, just enjoy it. Um, so they arrest him, and these are all the people they've arrested who vaguely could be the Iron Monkey. This guy's a Peking opera. So there's the Mar practitioner, and then there's the Ying, the Wong's right there, and Fei Hung says they're going to brand him. I mean, and then all of a sudden, there is the Iron Monkey, who I guess that's kind of a monkey style pose, and he's got also smoke bombs and all. He's got a utility belt, so really he's Batman. Chops off an eyebrow, and Qi Ying fights him, and they have a battle. So, but make sure his son's all right. And now they're gonna. He says, "I'll arrest the Iron Monkey," and they're gonna hold his son. They'll hold Fei Hung until he gets it. He's got 7 days to catch the Iron Monkey. But as he goes around, no one will serve him because now he's a bad guy. So Qi Ying, one of the 10 tigers of Guangdong or Kwangtung, whichever you prefer, is a bad guy up here in the. They say it's the south. But and they won't sell dirt to him. But he runs into Miss Orchid finally, and he's hungry, so he's kind of swiping food, and then he's chili and has to get a drink because he's sweating his bald cap off there. So there's really heart and humor and just connection here. I mean, it's one of the things you don't see a lot. It's just that's one of the things that makes this movie special. And I don't know who, Yin Wu Ping he's a great director here. So Choi Hawk was also one of the producers. And let's see, have we gotten to anybody else? Yen Shen Yi is Fox, and James Wong is Governor Cheng, who we've just seen. But we don't care about that. I mean, Fox we like. But now he's going to make some pasta, I think. It looks like that's a jicama plant or something, but he chops it off to new friends. So they know he's a good guy because, of course, Wong Qi-ying is well known. I mean, he's a doctor, he's a martial artist, and his son Wong Fei Hung is a well-regarded folk hero as well as everything, and a real person. These are real people here. I don't know if Dr. Yang and Miss Orchid were actually real people, but it doesn't matter. And he's like, I got to catch the Iron Monkey. So now he wants to save the boy. And that's what they all set out to do. So he tells him about the plague, and he's like, get him out of here. But even Officer Fox knows that Qi-ying is in a difficult predicament. And then some more monks show up. But we're going to have a little time out here and a little bit of a preview for tomorrow's episode.
Wait, listen to me.
Not a chance. Once a chump's enough. My gloves are stronger than your whipping. Hold still, you blasted jumping jack.
So I'm wrong. These aren't the renegade monks. But as Officer Fox says, they kidnapped a woman to join their brothel. Another fight breaks out, and the Shaolin Fist. I'm like, so what? So yes, they are. So they are renegades, and Shaolin has been taken over by the government. I don't know how true to life this is, but they are unforgiving, and we get to see the no shadow kick here. Lots of boots to the head, and then this woman shows up, who I'm not sure. Disfigured swordsman, Hao Shou. Is that? Nope, that's not it. Super Eagle's Claw. That says Hing Hung, so I don't know, but it's that might be White Eagle, Li Fai. Yes, that would be it. And they have a fight, and he just beats the teetotaling stuffing out of her. They've got Fei Hung, Fei Hung is being cured here. Is that a kitten? Looks like it, but no, it's not. Sorry. I know who you are. Yeah. And now we get a flashback to how Dr. Yang met Miss Orchid. She was a prostitute, had a baby who was stillborn, and he gives him money to redeem her. And there is where she falls in love. Look at, she's giving him the look. So that's where she falls in love with him. And I don't know, he must have taught her gung fu because she's quite capable. But it's her. And now he's playing this there, and now, oh, now they're going to get to do a little skullduggery. So once again, the Master of Disguise shows up as the new governor, and there he is, and then and being struck by it, and he's going over their books. They want the official seal, and then they find this. So he just is outsmarting them at all points. And it's just 30, he gives them 30 lashes, and then he bribes him and gives them more money. So, and all the food is open. And now Fei Hung is recovering, and he's like, he takes some pills to raise some money. So he finds your dad roughed us up. So these kids, the older brothers, are going to try to beat up Fei Hung. Now we get this lovely sequence here, and he beats him up. Uses the both the umbrella, his father's umbrella, or somebody's umbrella, and gives him money. And my kung fu's pretty good. And he also uses a staff, which is Fei Hung's weapon of choice, if I remember correctly. The staff, the grandfather of all weapons. That's what you learn first, at least in Choi Li Fut. Quite powerful, but just smacks him around, and then Miss Orchid's come, let's go. So, and now the real governor shows up, who is a wanker. Let's see. I don't see which one he is. If that's Hing Hung, maybe that's Governor Chang. I can't tell. No. Well, anyway, Blake will know. He'll tell me. Put him in, and now he puts the old governor in the dungeon. And they're like, "Oh, we have messed up big time." And Dr. Yang is teaching Fei Hung some staff movements. We get a little flashback on him. Oh, and that's it. I was a little faster on the draw. I didn't realize. So we're going to split this into two. And because it's a long movie, and I've already talked quite a bit here about the movie, which, I love. But, I get it. So we will do the second part next week. I promise I won't keep doing this. But for good movies, it's going to happen. Actually, I probably will keep doing it for several. I used to do it with the Gamera movies, of all things. So why not do 2 parts? It's all right. Content is content, right? And I really like this movie.
One more burst from my repeller ray will finish the job. You saved me.
I never wanted to hurt you, but...
How touching!
All right. So, speaking of Spider-Man and Medusa there, and if you can't figure out where the hint is as to what we're watching, look at the screen. They had a romance in that cartoon. This is, I think, from the 81 or 82. It was before Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. But they actually had a little romance there, which I quite enjoyed. I mean, interesting. So that has been our first half of Iron Monkey from 1993. Tomorrow we will be reviewing The Gorgon, a Hammer movie I've never seen before. Sven is airing it tonight, and we'll be talking about it. I'm looking forward to it since it's one of the few I've never seen. All right, my fellow agents, this is X7, and until our next assignment, I am signing off and phasing out.
It has been said that every legend and myth known to mankind is not entirely without some truth. It was here, under a full moon, in the little village of Van Dorf, that an ancient legend suddenly terrifyingly came to life.
Doctor, you'll perform an autopsy.
On a body that's turned to stone?
Have you ever heard of Megara?
Megara.
It's said that when mortals looked upon her face, they were turned to stone.
Leave Vandorf before it's too late.
What is it you're afraid of?
I'm afraid for you.
Or of what I may discover, if I remain?
We want you out of this house, mister. Now.
For 2,000 years, Megara the Gorgon had kept her evil peace. But now this strange, unearthly creature returns to petrify every human being who crosses her path. Starring Peter Cushing as the Doctor. Did his strange talents direct him to medicine or murder? Christopher Lee as the Professor, confronted by a conspiracy of silence that paralyzed a village with terror.
Megara died 2,000 years ago. It's her spirit we're concerned with today. It's found a resting place in somebody.
Also starring Richard Pascoe, Barbara Shelley, Michael Goodliff. The terrifying realism of the Gorgon. She comes to life and brings death to all those who look upon her face.
Carla! I am waiting for Carla, Mr. Hines.